Mr. Garcia will be receiving a Bachelor of Arts degree and majored in political science. He will begin the joint program at Harvard Law School and the John F. Kennedy School of Government in September. His address is titled, "Anything Seems Possible." It's my great pleasure to introduce our first student speaker, Mr. Juan Garcia.
The ski industry is paying as much attention to those who don't ski as those who do. Resorts have built ice.
1980s, the decade in which the graduating class enjoyed their first kiss, experienced living away from home for the first time, took their first true tests of character. The decade in which we came of age. Social pundits have called the 80s the era of the yuppie. Much has been said concerning the emphasis on financial success of these times. Some say we are obsessed with materialism. But friends, I say that on this June 12th of 1988, we stand on the brink of a new era. Observers often speak of the early 1960s as a time of a pure idealism and of great hope, a period of heightened social awareness and of determination to make the world as fair and as just as it could be. Whether it was achieving a colorblind society or putting a man on the moon, for one brief, shining moment, anything seemed possible. In the years that followed, a fierce turmoil and tension gripped the country. And with it, that brief, shining moment was extinguished under a flood of doubt, cynicism, and despair. The promise of a generation slipped away. But now, after 25 years of healing, I suggest that perhaps it is our generation that is the true heir to that earlier legacy of idealism and hope. For it is the men and women of this generation that clasped hands from coast to coast and vowed that we are the world. It is the men and women of this generation that swore not to play South Africa. It is the men and women of this generation that have, for the first time in the history of this nation, put a man of color within arm's reach of the White House. Friends, I say today, the worship of the dollar is over. The cult of materialism is ended. Friends, today, the yuppie is dead. That brief shining moment has been rekindled and fueled by the fire of a new idealism and of a new hope. It can burn again. The men and women before you represent the cutting edge of a different order, of a separate rank. They will enter society imbued with a call to duty, a sense of principle, and a commitment to compassion. This calling, a higher calling, will not be an easy one. but is one we stare down as a challenge. The road is treacherous, the rapids perilous, the mountains formidable, and our mission clear. And once again, anything seems possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia.